Hi, my name's Ethan, and we are doing quiz corrections for the initials VB. And without further ado, let's go on to question 1 and 24.1, 24.2. Solve using the addition principle here. So what we want to do is we want to add 3 over 4 to both sides. So then we're going to get y is equal to negative 11 over 20 plus 3 over 4. Perfect. If we want to add two fractions, we have to make sure they have common denominators. I think easiest way would be to multiply this side by 5 over 5. Perfect. We then get negative 11 over 20 plus 15 over 20. This then becomes 4 over 20, and this reduces down to 1/5, which is this answer right here. Perfect. Moving on to 24.1, 24.2. The area of a trapezoid of height h, small base b, and large base capital B is given by the formula there. Find the area of the trapezoid whose height is, okay, so I'm going to write this down. Height is 8. Small base is 13 meters. And large base is 15 meters. And now all we have to do is just plug and chug into this formula here. So just area is going to be equal to 1/2 times 13 plus 15 times the height, which is going to be 8. Perfect. So this is going to be 1/2 times 28 over 8. I'm going to write this down here. So that is going to be 14 times 8, because we can multiply the 1/2 times the 8, or the 1/2 times the 24. Then 14 times 8 is 112. And make sure you remember meters. This is area, and we're using meters. So our units are going to be meters squared. So that's going to be the answer. There you go. Perfect. Question 5 of 24.1, 24.2. Given that the circumference of a circle is c equals 2 pi r, where r is the radius, find the circumference if pi is equal to 3.14 and the radius is equal to 3 feet. All right, this one's not too bad. It's basically c equals, and we know what pi equals, so that's 3.14. And we know what r equals, and that's 3. And we just have to throw this in our calculator here. So 2 times 3.14 times 3 is going to be 18.84. And remember units, circumference is a distance around the circle, so that's just going to be feet. And looks like that's this answer right here. Perfect. Moving up to question 1 of 24.3, 24.4. Rectangular Persian carpet has a perimeter of 232 inches. So looking at that, first thing I do is I know that perimeter is equal to 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And in this case, we know the perimeter is 232 equals 2L plus 2W. The length of the carpet is 24 inches more than the width. So length is going to be equal to width plus 24. Now, if we think about this, say the length is 50. The width then has to be 26, and this statement is still true. The length of the carpet is 24 inches more than the width, because 50 is 26 or 24 more than 26. So that's a little equation we can use. And now it's asking for the dimensions of the carpet. So if we know that our perimeter is equal to this formula, we want to isolate it so that we're only solving for one variable. And we can use this formula by plugging in this L, because everything here is equal to L, into this L. So we're just going to do that. Just that. Plus 2W. And we can just carry the 2 within the brackets there. Awesome. Let's subtract 48 from both sides. That's 184. Ooh. equals 4w. And so then 184 divided by 4 is going to be 46. And since we are talking about inches, this is going to be 46 inches. Now, if we're looking at the question, you can logically deduct that it's going to be the A here, but let's say that you needed to prove, like, you have to show how you figured out length. Well, again, remember we've got this formula up here. So if we know that length is equal to the width plus 24, and we have the width down here, the length is just going to be 46 plus 24, or excuse me, yep, I said the right thing, but wrote down the wrong thing. 46 plus 24 is going to be 70. So length is 70 inches. We know the width is 46, so it's got to be 46 times 70. Okay, great. So this is question 2 of 24.6, 26.1. We've got solve the absolute value inequality and then write the solution using interval notation. So first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to put the absolute value thing itself all on its own. So we're going to do that because what we're going to do is we're going to add 4 to both sides. So we're going to get this. Now we have to consider two possibilities. What if the inside part here of between the absolute value lines is positive? And what if the inside part between the absolute value lines is negative? And remember, I'm talking about the entire inside part. So brackets around the entire thing. Great. So let's solve this one first. We need to just simply subtract 4 from both sides, and we get b is less than 5. And if we're going to write this in interval notation, it's going to be all numbers greater than 5 to infinity. So, but not including 5. So that's why we have the round brackets there, to infinity. Perfect. Then over here, we want to first move this negative sign over here. But when we move a negative sign with an inequality symbol here, we have to flip it. That's just a rule we have to memorize. So we're going to get this. Again, subtract 4 from both sides. We're going to get b has to be less than negative 13. Now, again, if we're writing this in interval notation, it's all numbers from negative 13, or from negative infinity to negative 13, not including negative 13. So negative infinity to negative 13, and then a round bracket, a soft bracket, because we are not including negative 13. And therefore, the only answer that includes both of those domains is going to be this one right here.